think there's only one place to start today. My beautiful football club. We're getting a new manager in Amorim. We sacked Ten Hag. I've been honestly, I'm so looking forward to the game tonight because it'll just feel a little bit different. We've got Amorim to look forward to. But yeah, I want to throw it to you two first, really. I've had a lot to say about it in the last couple of days. The viewers will be bored of listening to my opinions on Amorim at this stage. But Hussam, how good an appointment do you think this is for Man United?
I hate the fact that I actually think this is a really good appointment, but it is. When Xabi Alonso said no, I wanted my club to get Amorim, so I'm not going to change my energy now. I really like Amorim as a manager. Some people have been equating him to Ten Hag. They're not the same at all. Ten Hag won the league twice with Ajax. Amorim won the league twice with Sporting Lisbon, which is the equivalent of winning it with a Feyenoord, or the equivalent of winning it with a lesser club like an Arsenal in the Premier League. Like, that's just the truth. He actually rebuilt the club as well. He lost his best players, probably 2 or 3 times. He had to sell his players and rebuilt his team and won the league again. So he's shown the capability to work with a smaller budget as well, which is something as well that's very important for modern day managers. The fact that not every time you're going to get the Rolls Royce, the luxury players. Sometimes you're going to have to make do with a different level of player, a different type of player. And that's the key thing here, which is he can work with a budget as well. Now, in terms of the appointment, I think the problem in this whole conversation, and I'm sure it's going to be a separate topic, is the Ineos thing. Because I think now they have to try build a club in the image of the club instead of build a club in the image of a manager. The problem is what they did with Ten Hag is even after keeping him, they still let him kind of have all his players. And now, the only ones that you could say probably is not his players is probably Lenny Yoro and Ugarte. The rest of them are all, either Dutch league players, Ajax players, etc., Dutch players even, just in terms of nationality. But I think now it's a completely different system, a completely different style. 3 at the back, wing backs instead of full backs. Sometimes as well playing with 2 strikers. That's another thing as well people might keep in mind with the 5 at the back system. Sometimes you'll play with 2 strikers, not just 1 striker and wingers. So that's another thing as well. Sometimes you could play with 2 10s. So the 5 at the back system allows you to be creative in terms of the way you go forward. But I think now, obviously, he's going to have to buy different types of players. Mo gave this example before, and it's a correct example, the Inzaghi thing. He's like, Inter Milan have 5 strikers on the bench. 5 strikers, as in 2 starting and 3 on the bench. They don't have a single winger. They don't have wingers playing in their team because Simeone Inzaghi doesn't use wingers. This is where the philosophy change might be a bit of an issue, in my opinion. And the fact that if they just did that, to be honest with you, let's say they did that in the summer, they would have allowed him to buy players that suited his system. And even if he didn't do a good enough job and Amorim was sacked, then you end up getting a similar manager with similar tactics, similar style. But I think the guy is a fantastic manager. He won 2 league titles out of 4 with Sporting Lisbon. Once again, I repeat, it's not like the same as winning it with Porto or Benfica. And he rebuilt the squad, he rebuilt the team twice. And he's won multiple trophies as well, not just leagues. He's won cups and stuff like that. So that's the thing that makes the difference. But now you have to fix what's going on upstairs. You fix what's going on upstairs, you will fix what happens downstairs. That's just my honest opinion on it. And actually, funnily enough, and I'll end on this, the performance against West Ham was probably one of your best performances of the season. You could have scored 4 or 5 goals literally in the first. You could have scored so many goals, but you just kept missing chances. Which is why it makes me think bro, you guys met, had the 6-hour meeting. You guys came together in the summer, and that's the decision you went with, which is keep Ten Hag. And then you sacked him after actually one of your better performances. That's what I honestly think, because you could have sacked him after the 3-0. You could have sacked him after the bad games.
I think what's really interesting on the performance thing is something I heard Tuchel say in an interview a while back, maybe a year ago. This interview came out, and he said everybody talks about how in football performances matter the most. He said, but in my experience, he said, every time I've lost my job or my job's been under pressure, it's been because of results. And I just think when you're at a club like Manchester United, and I think as a Liverpool fan, you should be able to relate to this, and Inter, you both support gigantic clubs, but Man United, I still think, has a certain level of attention and scrutiny that it gets that most don't. And that's that yes, performances are key, but you've got to win at the same time. There isn't with Amorim.
Of course, your team is not 14th level bad. 100%, you're right.
Yeah.
100%.
So, but the point I'm making, Amorim can't go through the next 3 years just making the football better. He has got to win, or at least come very close to winning trophies. You know, if he gets to a final against Man City and you're narrowly beaten 2-1, it's annoying. But okay, we know we can win it the next year. We know we've got the ability to. He has got to get us to a certain level. I want to ask you a question about what you said. I agree that the running of the club has got to continue improving. I thought the summer was a good start. Where I disagree is that we bought loads of Ten Hag's players. I know there is the Ajax connection. Cool. But let me ask you a question. What players did we buy in the summer that do you believe are a complete opposite of what Amorim will want? Which Lenny Euro, De Ligt, Maswari, Ugarte, I mean, I don't think he is. Which of the players that did we buy are completely wrong for the Amorim system, in your opinion?
I mean, Ugarte literally played under Amorim, so he's definitely gonna shine in the thing. He was at Sporting Lisbon before he went to PSG. I wanted him at my club to play the club system, so I rate Ugarte personally. I don't think Ugarte is a bad player at all, by the way. I think in terms of the center backs, in terms of the wing backs, Mazraoui for sure. Because I would assume that Amorim would want, if you're playing with wing backs, you would probably want someone maybe who goes a bit more further forward. And I would say as well, maybe someone like a Xerxes, because he might need a different type of striker. So this is the things that we speak about. Like maybe he wants a different type of player. Mazraoui is your solid fullback. When you signed Mazraoui, I wasn't one of the people that criticized it. So let's push that to the side. I thought it was a good signing. But if you're gonna play with wing backs, Mazraoui might not be your guy. Like that's what I'm saying as example. So there are, I think, 2 or 3 players. Would Amorim necessarily have signed De Ligt? I don't know. So that's my point. All my point is, Terry, is the following. Okay, you're currently 30th October, 28th October. You sacked him. I get why you gave Ten Hag a chance. I understand it. There wasn't managers available in the market, but Amorim was available at the time because he went to interview with West Ham. He had to apologize to the Sporting fans for interviewing in the middle of a title race. Liverpool then rejected him. And then on top of that, he was sat there in the summer. If you were unconvinced of Ten Hag anyway and wanted to get Amorim, might as well hire Amorim, give him the chance to do the transfers, and take it from there.
I actually believe that the team is built for Amorim. I said that before. You remember when I said Inzaghi? I actually think in terms of a starting 11 and flexibility of players, I believe Amorim will absolutely fix Man United. And it's going to be shorter than what people think. The team is built for him. Mazraoui is a wing back, not a fullback. He is like a 50-50 guy in both aspects. I think actually Mazraoui going forward is better than defensively. I know Man United fans saw that, but watching Mazraoui at Bayern Munich and Ajax and with Morocco, he's a very good player going forward. He's not the strongest defender physically. He's not. I believe the team is built for him. Absolutely, you have every single tool at your front line for him to play 2 striker formation and 3 forward formations with the wingers, with Amad Diallo, Garnacho, Rashford, Xerxes and Horan. He can play 2 striker formation, which is Rashford can be a forward and also can be a winger. Amad Diallo can play behind. Bruno Fernandes can play behind the 2 forwards. It's very flexible. I genuinely believe if you're looking at this Amorim thing, the team is built for a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2. All you need now is depth. Can Man United spend in the summer or in the January to get the depth needed? Yes. We have seen it over the last summers. The Man United can spend. This Amorim, when I said the Man United are finished, I genuinely believe that you won't be able to attract this manager. That you would only attract the Thomas Franks, the McKennas, and these managers. Because Amorim was linked to Man City. By the way, people forget that he was tipped to follow Pep Guardiola. And you watch Man City spaces now, everyone is saying, okay, now we thought that this guy's coming in to replace Guardiola if he leaves. What happens now?
Did you know what I noticed yesterday, right? And by the way, Man United would also do this, so I'm not digging at anyone's clubs. The PR yesterday. You know, you get some clubs go, my club doesn't do PR like yours. No, they all do. The second it came out that this deal was going to happen, the Liverpool briefs, the City briefs, straight away out to journalists, let them know that at no point was this manager ever under consideration. Where was those briefings from those said clubs when the links were there? Where were those briefings? They weren't anywhere. But look, I don't even look at it as he's rejected other teams for Man United. Sometimes it's just about the perfect storm in the sense of when it came to Pep, Man United missed out on him twice because we didn't have our ducks in a row. It's not that he rejected coming to us. We wanted him, but we never made an official approach. I don't think City made an official approach to Amorim. I think he was just on their list of managers. But also, we know that I've read reports that Arteta's on the list, and who's that guy that's gone to Marseille? The Zerbi's been on the list. And what's interesting, in another 2 years' time, if Pep's still here, some of those managers will be off that list. And Ten Hag was on the list about 4 years ago, if I remember reading an article correctly. Sorry, back to you, Mo. Sorry.